Well, Deb Murphy filed this report for Sierra Wave Media. Lack of housing in Bishop was cited as a challenge in the city's economic development plan, but 15 houses on the 2.75-acre parcel of what has been the Bishop Nursery may not be what potential neighbors think is a solution. The Bishop City Council held its first public hearing on a negative declaration, no negative environmental impact, for the Kingston Subdivision. It's a tentative tract map, and heard 8 residents of Rome Drive and Home Street outline a list of negative impacts. Both Bishop City Planning Director Gary Schley and Chief Administrative Officer Jim Tatum told the speakers that the public comment period would be extended 30 days to August 15th, and that this last Monday night's hearing was just the beginning of the process. Tatum said this is not an attempt to circumvent public input. Now, the City of Bishop conducted the initial study and draft mitigated negative declaration. Terry Ty, a Rome Drive resident, went through a long list of objections, starting with poor notification and inadequate information on the plan development. If this plan called for 10 houses, there probably wouldn't be much opposition, Ty said. He also wondered how the negative declaration was arrived at, considering the habitat currently provided by the nursery operation and riparian habitat along the South Fork of Bishop Creek, which the declaration indicated was, quote, far enough away, end quote, from the development. Now, other objections to the negative declaration included traffic issues on Home Street, noise, variances on road requirements, identification of 15 houses on 2.75 acres as medium density, and loss of quality of life for existing neighbors. City of Bishop will hold a second public hearing at its August 10th meeting. The Planning Commission will consider a conditional use permit to set aside roadway design requirements at its August 25th meeting. Now, residents were encouraged to submit their comments in writing to the city. The City Council will make the final determination, according to Schley. The draft mitigated negative declaration is available on the City Planning Department webpage, and you can go to cityofbishop.com to find that. Well, Deb Murphy also filed this story. North Sierra Highway from Y Road to approximately Bishop Paiute Palace Casino is headed for a facelift of sorts. Inyo County secured a $275,440 Caltrans Sustainable Transportation Grant to develop a corridor plan. The plan, worked out over the next 3 years, will look at streetscapes, bicycle lanes, and other elements impacting the highway. But the county's planning department wants to use the plan as step one in a more comprehensive, specific plan for North Sierra Highway planning area with a little help from friends. Planning Department Director Josh Hart laid out the details of the funded corridor plan at this last Tuesday's Inyo County Board of Supervisors meeting. The finished product would include community outreach and a final plan with stakeholder input. What it doesn't include are the environmental documents required for a, quote, broad vision for the area, a couple of 100 feet beyond the highway, end quote, including land use and socioeconomic elements, Hart said. Now, according to Hart, the additional annual cost would be $30,000 a year over the 3-year term of the Caltrans corridor plan. The county can foot the bill for half of that total, and will be talking to other potential partners for the balance, including the City of Bishop, Tri-County Fairgrounds, and the Bishop Paiute Tribe. You can see more on this story on our website, sierrawave.net. Deb Murphy also filed this story. The Tri-County Fairgrounds was swarmed with animals, their young owners, 4-H leaders, FFA teachers, and family members, starting last Tuesday with 4 days of judging both the animals and their handlers, and then ending with the junior livestock auction Saturday evening. Now, the animals ranged from puffy little silky chickens and rabbits to goats, swine, sheep, and beef on the hoof. The handlers are nearly as diverse, 6-year-old 4-H'ers leading or being led by their pygmy goats, 9-year-olds taking on their first market projects, all the way to future farmers of America, high school seniors, many of whom will be heading to careers in agriculture. Now, getting information that the grand total for the auction came to $326,326. That's an increase of about $85,000 over last year. And after 15 years of service to the auction, did want to mention Richard Reel of Big Pine was honored at the buyer's dinner for his dedication to the event. Got a commemorative jacket embroidered with his name and the 4-H and FFA logos. Our good friend Richard Reel was heard to say that the Junior Livestock Show and Auction is better than Christmas for me. You can see much more on the Junior Livestock Show and Auction on our website, sierrawave.net. And a State Department-sponsored tour brought a delegation of 12 scientists to the United States from Iran to consult with their counterparts on issues related to water shortages in the southwest United States. Now, researchers from Iranian universities with backgrounds in civil engineering, hydrology, geochemistry, and environmental sciences were hosted by staff from the Great Basin Unified Air Pollution Control District and LA Department of Water and Power for a tour and workshop at Owens Lake. Now, water that once flowed to Lake Urmia in Iran has been diverted to support agriculture and urban populations that have a water demand larger than can be sustained by the available resources. Now, this has caused the drying up of Lake Urmia, a terminal lake with no outlet that once covered 2,000 square miles. It now contains only about 5% of its former volume. Now, like Owens Lake, the lake bed is exposed to wind erosion, causing enormous dust storms. And again, hope you see more on this story on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, thousands of people in Mammoth Lakes for the 2015 USA Cycling Mountain Biking Nationals. Sierra Wave Media's Rob Gill filed this story.
So we're here at Mammoth Mountain at Canyon Lodge specifically, and we have the USA Nationals that are happening for the next 5 days, beginning with today, Tuesday.
Well, we're super excited to be here at Mammoth Mountain. It's been a long time since we've held a national championship here at Mammoth Mountain. We did back in the 90s. We had even had international World Cups here, but we're kind of coming home to Mammoth Mountain here with a national championship for the downhillers as well as the cross-country riders, and we couldn't be more excited. There's 5 days of racing. We start here on Wednesday. We've got cross-country races, we've got downhill races, we've got dual slalom, we've got short track cross-country, and then also on Sunday is our big enduro race. It's the first enduro national championship that USA Cycling has held, so we're really excited about that. We expect over 1,000 people and all ages and categories to come on out and race.
So if you're coming to watch, like the winter time, there's parking all around Canyon Lodge. The gondola is open from 9 to 5 every day coming out of the village. So you can come to Canyon Lodge, and all the finishes are right here within walking distance around the lodge. The starts, however, some of the downhill starts are up on top of chair 16 and up on top of chair 10. Otherwise, everything's very local down here by Canyon Lodge.
Well, I think it's a great spectator event. We've got tons of people, tons of stuff going on. There's racing and training and at least 2 or 3 races going on all the time. Lots to see. If you want like the downhill, you can climb up the mountain, watch a good place in the rock garden. If you like the cross-country races and people sprinting in for the finish, you can do that here at the finish line. So tons of stuff going on. We've got a beer garden with Sierra Nevada, all kinds of expo stuff going on. So plenty to do for all ages.
If you wanted to find out more information about it and the schedule, you can go to mammothmountain.com and look up the event, USA Nationals, or you can go to USA Cycling and look up at the event, because there's events going on for the next 4 and 5 days, all throughout the day. Today's a practice day, but come tomorrow, Wednesday, we're starting with some short track and some downhill competition, and it continues on to the enduro, which is all day on Sunday.
All right, some great action, world-class athletes in the Eastern Sierra this week. We'll be back with more from the Mammoth Lakes 4th of July Parade.